Hey, what up guys, it's the Real Crusade here. I'm going to be talking about the new Halloween DLC patch with Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and of course the new perks that they bring to the table, because they are pretty unique perks, especially on the killer side, because this is the first patch where I feel like in a high-ranking match, with 4 high-ranked survivors versus 1 high-ranked killer, that the killer actually has a bit of an advantage, and it's not attributed to Michael Myers himself, but his perks, two of the three his perks that he brings to the table. The third perk it's decent, but it's not as strong as the other two. It's called Dying Light. And Dying Light is basically you get one of the survivors as an obsession, which is a new game mechanic. And you want to find and kill your obsession as quickly as you can, because with Dying Light, the perk, it grants your obsession 50% speed bonus in altruistic speeds, or altruistic actions such as unhooking, healing, and all that. Which that's bad because that buffs the survivor, but once you kill him, the other survivors get debuffed, and they repair generators and heal 25% slower, so that's pretty good, and I think that's at tier 3 of the perk. So I mean, it's good, I like the idea, it's pretty unique, but it's counterintuitive with save the best for last, which is the opposite. Your obsession, you want to keep them alive, and of course save them for last. But this combined with play with your food, these two perks are incredibly strong. As you can see at tier 1 with save the best for last, the cooldown of successful attacks is decreased by 25%. And I don't know if you recall, but I also have unrelenting here, and unrelenting I think at tier 3 was, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8% on successful attacks. At tier 1 it's 10% now. I believe tier 3 is 22%. I could actually check that on my trapper. Yep, 22%, which that is a significant buff to that perk. But that buff to this perk wouldn't be so bad if you couldn't stack it with this other perk, save the best for last. Since they have the same exact effect and they stack, I mean, if you have tier 3 of both of these perks, I mean, you're looking at, less than half of what your normal cooldown is. So you can hit someone and then you're immediately ready to hit again. So doing any sort of bold moves is not going to fly with this perk setup, and it is going to be in the meta. I can bet my life on that. But then there's also, we haven't even got to play with your food yet, and so at tier 1 you get 5% increased movement speed per token, so you get 3 tokens. This will go up to 15%. This is tier 1. Tier 3 is 7%, so that'll go up to 21% movement speed increase. And let me look at it. Yeah, no one escapes death. You get a movement speed increase of 4%. So just one stack, or one token at tier 1 with play with your food is actually 1% faster than no one escapes death 3, which blows my mind. Of course, with this perk you have to find your obsession and let them escape, which there is kind of like it's not really a bug, but no, it is a bug. If they get right out of the cusp of your chase range, I guess you can call it, and you can kind of fall back a little bit, they'll get escaped, and then you can resume chasing, and it's just kind of weird, but you can easily get tokens for this. But the main problem is finding your obsession, but getting that 21% speed bonus is absolutely crazy, and I'll be showing off how that works in a game where I actually play a survivor against a player who is using this and this perk. But I mean, these two perks, along with unrelenting, is going to be good on every single killer. Maybe not Hillbilly, because you have your chainsaw, but every other killer, it's going to be insane. But real quick, I guess I'll talk about Michael Myers himself and his evil within power. And I actually don't think Michael Myers himself is overpowered, perkless or whatever. I know a lot of people have been crying on like Reddit forums about him being overpowered, but I don't think he is. People would probably just don't want to play him yet, or play against him yet. And there's also a lot of matchmaking hysteria going on. Killers are having to wait a very long time to get in the game because everybody wants to play a killer, because as I said, killers have an advantage in this patch, and that means that the range for ranks for survivors that get into a killer's game is opening up to rank 20s. So if you're rank 1 killer, you're going to be getting rank 20s into your game probably. And that makes for easy kills, because if there's one rank 20 in your game and the rest are rank 1, that rank 20 is going to drag the team down. And that can make Michael Myers seem overpowered just because you have a weaker survivor team. But if it's 4 rank 1s versus rank 1, not that many people are going to die, actually. Assuming that Michael Myers is perkless. If he's got, you know, all the good perks, play with your food, and save the best for last, unrelenting, and, you know, 4th perk could be Iron Grasp or Brutal Strength. Those are both good. Killer is going to have a significant advantage. But anyways, onto the power. So Evil Within 1, tremendously decreased terror radius, grants immediate detection, slightly decreased movement speed, slightly decreased lunge. So basically this is kind of like stealth mode. When it says tremendously decreased terror radius, it doesn't give you a number, but terror radius is typically, I think it's standard is 32 meters, and tremendously decreased, it's virtually non-existent. It goes down to like 3 meters or something crazy short. And so with this, you can sneak up on survivors quite easily. And so I think the way this was built is you sneak up on someone, get a hit in, and then maybe upgrade to Evil Within 2 and start chasing. But I think just staying in Evil Within 1 is probably some of the most fun killer gameplay I've ever had. If you upgrade to Evil Within 2, you're kind of like, I mean, you have basically normal stats, like compared to a Wraith, but you have a smaller terror radius, and of course you have the ability to go to Evil Within 3, which is basically, it gives you NOED and the ability to leap through windows really fast. Of course it only lasts for 1 minute, so you gotta be using that time wisely. And if you look at Michael Myers when he goes to Evil Within 3, of course there's a global audio cue when it happens, but he also raises his knife up for like an overhanded stab or whatever, because I guess that makes your knife do more damage. Alright, so we're going to jump in a game as Survivor against Michael Myers. Alright, so starting this match off, of course, normally you won't know which killer you have because you can't look at hooks anymore to determine which killer it is, because the hooks are now map-based. So now if you get in a match and you're not sure what killer it is, and it is a Michael Myers, Evil Within 1, since you have pretty much no terror radius, Michael Myers is going to have a very strong early game because of this. Because he could just pop out of nowhere and grab you, or he could, you know, get some free stalker points. And of course he's making his way over here. And when he's trying to get Evil Within, you see him slowing down there, you want to break line of sight. I have to run through an open field here, but ultimately you want to make sure you're behind something so he can't look at you. And I didn't see him come over to that side because it's hard to keep track of him. But right now I'm just trying to waste his time as much as I can. Of course he tries to swing at me, but he's got that slow movement speed, and if he decides to stalk me, he's going to slow himself down a lot. I tried to go for that. I tried to bait him into walking into that pallet, but I ended up getting hit for it. So a little bit of miscalculation. He's trying to get stalker points from top of that hill, but, you know, ducking behind that hay bale is kind of tough, because if you want to duck behind something, then he could just choose to chase you, and that'll close the gap. So it's definitely a hard decision to make. Let him get stalker points, or yeah, just take the hit. And just gonna continue running away. And of course if he does go for Evil Within 3, it doesn't really matter too much because I'm already injured, so I am down on the next hit regardless. So try to bait him in that pallet, and I'm already camping this pallet, so it's not ideal to be just camping the pallet after pallet, but I don't want to go down so early when we have 5 gens that need to be fixed still. So he lost us a little bit, And I can't really, I mean, he's decreased terror radius even in Evil Within 2, so don't really know where he's at. Definitely have to actually look around and keep an eye on his physical body instead of relying on the terror radius so much. Trying to pallet dive there, not going to happen. And I decided to throw down that pallet. It may seem wasteful, but again, I'm really desperate to not go down, and I decided to just use that pallet as sort of a wall to buy me a little more time, but I get stuck on that railing a little bit. And I'm just going to keep running, and of course ducking behind cover so he can't get any free stalker points. Because what Michael Myers will do is build up a lot of stalker Evil Within points, I guess. And they'll get it so it's like they're at 99% and they just have to get a little bit more to go Evil Within 3. It's, I mean, a very obvious strategy to use with him. So I think that the evil that he gets should maybe decay to prevent that, because that aspect might be a little strong. But I don't know. Could just try and deny him the stalker points. And of course he's still hot on our tail. And I feel like he should have been able to catch us here, but he doesn't have play with your food tokens yet. But it's looking a little dicey here, and he does get the hit on me. So finally go down. Teammates have 2 generators down. I think it's going to be 3, but not the best start, but it is pretty good. I mean, the thing is, it's inevitable to go down if the killer just keeps chasing you. You basically just want to buy as much time as possible, and I bought a decent amount of time for my teammates. But we'll see what they do here. There's a guy in a basement for some reason. Kindred wouldn't be bad here, especially if you're high rank. You're likely to get low ranks in your game, so having Kindred is probably pretty good, because it'll really help those low ranks out. They won't know if they should go for the save or not, but it's not 100% reliable. But we see Jake running in here for the rescue, and the guy in the basement gets downed. For some reason, I don't know how he knew he was in there, but maybe he's going for the treasure chest. And if you do cancel a treasure chest and you close it, it will actually pop up for the killer now. I don't recall seeing that in patch notes, but it's something to be aware of if you close a treasure chest. It's like if you fail a skill check on generator or something, but of course he hangs him in the basement there. Of course gonna heal myself as quickly as possible. Just gonna be a little careful, look out for him. Look out for Michael Myers, and I do want to get there before he gets into struggle state, but I am also trying to be careful because of Evil Within 3. Of course he's really fast when he has his knife up in the air, and he does end up downing someone else, so I'm free to jump down here, hopefully. But unfortunately teammate gets put in struggle state. Looks like he wanted to heal down there, but he really should just bolt it out of there as quickly as possible, since he could one hit down anyway. But can heal at the top of the steps, because you can just bolt it if he starts to come over here. Other teammate gets hooked, and this can be a common issue in the game, is once one player gets hooked, the killer goes on a hooking spree if people aren't the best at getting chased. And one of the perks for Laurie, Object of Obsession, allows you to see where the killer is if you're outside of his terror radius, but the killer can also see where you're at. And I kind of wanted to use that to, attract attention, to deliberately attract attention, so I could sort of tank the killer for these lower ranks, because you get so many lower ranks in your game. But I don't have Laurie high enough level, because I don't get to play enough. We get this Jake out of here, and decide to go for the heal. And I decided to stick the heal because he was in Evil Within 2, but of course we see him pop Evil Within 3, so I'm like, oh shit. So I figured that Michael Myers, he should go after healthy players first. Like, why pop Evil Within 3 for an injured survivor? So I'm surprised to see him go for the Jake there. I mean, of course, if he chased me, I probably would have been able to deter him for a while. Plus, he's an insta-kill, so now he has no bait or anything. but he's on the prowl. And a lot of this game is going to be hiding. And he goes down. Of course, that one hit down is pretty powerful. Thought about sabotaging this, but since teammate is working on this gen, figured I might as well finish it. As that other teammate, since I didn't get to him in time in the basement, he's going to be instantly killed. But hiding is incredibly important against Michael Myers because you don't want him to get stalker points. And of course, with play with your food and save the best for last, he's going to be so strong in a chase, especially with that movement speed. So staying hidden is going to be paramount. I would like to see play with your food nerfed a little bit. Its percentages are absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Obscene in many ways. Of course, he's going to be patrolling around. And actually, I spent a lot of time hiding. He spends a lot of time patrolling, so I'm actually going to make a cut here. Okay, so we see Michael Myers here on the hill as he's swiveling around. And that's pretty strong for Michael Myers, especially on the farm map, because you can get maybe like on a combine. And of course, people are saying that you can't stalk people through the corn, but if you get up on a combine or a hill, you can spot them that way because of the angle. Anyways, he saw us going for the escape hatch there, or the escape door, and we somehow lose him. I think he was getting worried about the other door because he realized he was focused on this door, and that left the other door undefended. So I don't think he really lost me. He just decided to go for the other door. But of course that leaves this door open. You can't guard both at the same time. So that's pretty much ideal. There's 2 survivors left, 1 person on each door, so you can continue pressuring each door. And I'm gonna wait around because I want to see if what happens to this guy if he goes down, and he does go down. Evil Within 3. So I'm not gonna head out just yet. Absolutely, I want to wait for Evil Within 3 to dissipate as he walks in here. Gonna pull a sneaky move. He didn't check it thoroughly enough. He definitely could have just killed me there. He could have downed me and won the game right there, but he wasn't thorough. So I'm just waiting around, and of course most killers I think are gonna do this. They immediately go to Evil Within 2, then they try to upgrade to EW3 to do this super aggressive playstyle with play with your food and save the best for last, unrelenting, just for raw stats. And that's great if you want to win, but I think Evil Within 1 can be really powerful on certain maps, like enclosed maps, say Autohaven, or even the new map, Hayden Field or whatever. There's a lot of corners to come around. Even the cornfield, you can come through a corn in Evil Within 1 and just pop out of nowhere, kinda. But if you're in an open map, like maybe even Shelter Woods, it may be better just to go to Evil Within 2 and 3 because it's going to be easier to stalk. Maybe not so much because players will utilize tree lines and whatnot, but more open maps will be better for the more aggressive playstyle, and enclosed maps going to be much better with the Evil Within 1 playstyle. So Michael Myers is pretty adaptive in that case. But I'm going for this unhook because no man left behind, or no woman left behind. And he's trying to get Evil Within there, so I duck behind that tree line, or that tire stack. And I wanted to take that hit, so my teammate didn't have to worry. Drop that pallet preemptively because I'm not messing around. Of course he's going to try to cut me off here because he's worried about me escaping. And I'm thinking right here, like, I'm just going to go for it because he's reasonably far away at the point that I made that decision, but he catches up and he's so fast. And I know play with your food is in effect there because I have plenty of experience, and I know for a fact without play with your food, I made that escape. So, easy misjudgment, and just, I don't know, so much movement speed. I definitely think there needs to be a change with that. Maybe the tokens dissipate over time, maybe 30 seconds or something like that. But it definitely catches me off guard, and you can't really play around it because it's just insane stats. So I'm on the hook, and spoiler alert, my teammate leaves me to die, which is fine. I'll go for saves all the time, and I'm used to people not saving me, but I'm never going to change my playstyle. But that's Michael Myers. Really tough to play against. He is more or less balanced, I would say, against a full high-rank survivor squad. But as we're going to find out in a moment here, yep, this is all low ranks. Killer's high rank. You know, I'm high rank, but I can't hold the team up by myself. Well, at least I got one guy out of there, so I guess that works. Alright, so for this next game, we're actually going to be playing as Michael Myers here. And, real quick, I guess I want to talk about some things with him, because a lot of people are saying he's overpowered, a lot of people are saying he's underpowered, that he's easy to play against, and I think the main issue is his point generation. He gets a lot of points really easy, and this allows for people who play as Michael Myers to rank up, like, pretty much no matter what. So people who maybe aren't supposed to be a higher rank get to higher rank, and they're playing against you know, other high rank survivors, and they're just, you know, outside of their skill category. That could be part of it. Add-ons are actually incredibly powerful as well. Judas Tombstone and the Tombstone piece allow you to kill a survivor while you're in EW3 while they're standing up. So it's a lot faster than a Mori, but I wouldn't say it's as good as a Mori, because you have to get really close to them, as opposed to, I mean, the lunge range on EW3 is pretty far, so you could normally just get a down with EW3 by lunging, but you have to get a little closer to go for these kills with the Tombstone pieces. And so a Mori, I think, is still a little bit better. But you can do some cool stuff like combine the Tombstone piece with like an Ivory Memento Mori, and you can get 2 kills in. But there's another couple of add-ons. The Scratch Mirror, which in EW1 reveals survivors' auras when stalking within a 32-meter range, which is pretty crazy. And that's probably really fun to use. And I have used it, but being in EW1, it's fun, but you're pretty slow, because there's another add-on, Vanity Mirror. Does the same thing, but you can be in EW2, and it only has a 16-meter range. I'm going to show this off in the next game, because it is incredibly powerful, especially in close quarters maps. And this is going to be on Hayden Field, Lambkin Lane, and, you know, there's houses, there's a lot of, you know, close quarters, just corners to hide in, and so Vanity Mirror is really good against that. And I pair it with the Dead Rabbit, so it moderately reduces terror radius in EW2, but increases the terror radius in EW3, but of course it can't go in EW3, so it's only a benefit. But let's go ahead and jump in that game. Alright, Michael Myers here on Lambkin Lane, again with that Vanity Mirror loaded in. Only 16-meter range, so it's not that far, but you are going to see me spinning around a lot while holding stalk to try and look for survivors hiding behind something. And stalk is pretty good in general, just to find survivors out in the open. Maybe you can't see them, but stalk will, you know, light them up. But I do need to get evil within 2 first, so I'm just going to be walking around and look to see if I can find a survivor to get evil from. Alright, somebody already messed up a generator, so I'm going to go for that. And usually don't want to take the obvious approach, but just going to stay behind objects best I can. As the player on this generator decided to not leave even though he messed up the generator. And his positioning is pretty good on that generator. He's hiding behind it, but he's forced to run out in the open a little bit here. And just gonna chase him down. You see, I'm already like a third the way done with Stalker, so this does make point generation pretty quick. And yeah, you decided to try and hide up here. There's a minimum range on Stalk, so you can't get points or evil from a survivor if they're too close to you, so just go for the hit if you're in a situation like that. And someone sabotaged a hook. This Make walks away like I did nothing. But be careful approaching a survivor that's just walking around. They may be clueless, or they could just be saving sprint burst, so definitely save your swing until you're 100%. But since the other guy was the obsession, you know, I got 1 stack of play with your food, which is fine. You know, we don't want to focus our obsession because I don't have dying light or anything like that. So definitely want to keep them alive. And definitely get this Meg down if they're going to be sabotaging things. Definitely didn't have to break that pallet. Gone around pretty easy. Most of the pallets on this map they have a very quick run around for them. Like this one here is just a car that you have to go around, so I decided to do it there. And there's another Meg in here. Decided to get the hit on them. Switch to them since they're going to be in a worse position and get a pretty cheeky hit through the window there. So I'll take it. Only able to do that because of how short my cooldown is. Not really looking at my knife for very long. But no Iron Grasp with this build, which is fine because Iron Grasp is going to be phased out of the meta probably in the upcoming patch. They're nerfing it quite a bit. Plus they're going to make it, well, this is only in the test build, but they're going to make it so hooks will actually repair themselves after a certain amount of time. So that kind of phases out Iron Grasp out of the meta. Which is good, but they might have over-nerfed it a little bit, just kind of how I think they over-buffed Unrelenting a little bit. Although maybe Unrelenting would be fine if it wasn't for Save the Best for Last. But I was spinning around really quick there because I was looking for someone to approach from that angle, and I could see him through the wall and then pop out of nowhere. But we have 3 survivors here, and my low cooldown is making this really good for me. So I'm able to get 2 hits in and down this guy, which is really good, really benefiting from that low cooldown. And we're going to throw this guy, well, never mind, Decisive Strike. We forgot about that perk. So Decisive Strike is an insanely good perk. It's kind of like an oh shit button. And if you're kind of losing as a killer and you finally get a survivor down, and I get another good hit through the window there, but if you finally get a survivor down and maybe there's maybe the exit gates are powered and you pick a guy up and he had Decisive Strike, and it's just it's a nightmare. That perk is a nightmare for killers. So yep, pretty good perk on both sides for this DLC. And normally I would have picked up that Meg there, but we get some really good use out of Vanity Mirror here. Spot that guy through that car. He's probably wondering how the hell we found him. You know, easy cutoff. These pallets are not the best if you're not paying attention. You definitely have to be paying attention, looking behind you, see if the killer's going to be cutting you off because they're such a short cutoff. And this guy's trying to flashlight me, but you actually don't have to look away if you're approaching him. You can just strafe side to side as you approach him, and it makes him really hard to track your head. Learned that from APB. And so we got 3 players down. Damn good situation to be in, but I for some reason decided to pick up my obsession here. And Decisive Strike. He's got a rank 3, so we're going to just sit in here for a while. Kidney shot, 5-second stun. He manages to get the other guy up, so I decided to go for him. Because he is not my obsession. And following scratch marks here. I thought he got the other guy up, but it was actually this guy. And going to go ahead and rechase my obsession a little bit. Spawn up through the wall there. And of course pop out when he least expects it. So this add-on is, I don't know, it's incredibly overpowered honestly, because Michael Myers in EW2, I mean you can't go to EW3, but I find that in a high rank match I'm not able to go to EW3 until very late in the game because it takes so much time to build up to EW3 and I can't waste any time. So I'm usually chasing people like a Wraith, just in EW2. Didn't need to break that pallet, but I did anyway. Investment, I guess. But anyways, Michael Myers is kind of like a buffed Wraith. I mean, he has a reduced terror radius, kind of what the Wraith would want. And I got sprint bursted, ice skated past that. He definitely should have just kept going. So, sprint burst assisted me there. But again, Wraith, or Michael Myers is like a buffed Wraith because reduced terror radius, and he has that vault speed as well. Plus, I mean, normally he would have the ability to go to EW3, but usually you save it up to 99%, or you spend the course of the match just getting it up to 99%, and then you pop it when you really, really need it. But against a good group of survivors, do not expect to be able to pop it more than once. So definitely use it sparingly. And don't just sit there and, stalk a survivor when they clearly know you're there. Definitely you'd be using that time to close the gap and get in some damage. But I decided to follow this guy's scratch marks and find the guy that I had originally hooked. Which is unfortunate for him, but at this point in the game, it's been a while, and I've got a lot of points, but I do want to secure a kill, so this guy is the unfortunate one. But it does allow the rest of the survivor team to heal completely back up. So it is a trade-off, but they're not going to be able to do as many things with only 3 players. But we're going to go back to where they originally were. And just got a little bit. You see me get like +8 on Stalker, which is like a survivor showed up for a split second, +7 there. So I'm like, I don't really know what direction it is because I'm spinning around too fast. But I know that a survivor should be pretty close by. But I'm not focusing in on one particular area because I'm just hoping my vanity mirror will catch somebody. But it is a pretty short range, so it's kind of hard to hope for. And this map does have a lot of long fences, a lot of long hedgeways that kind of make it difficult to navigate. Makes my reduced terror radius kind of mess that guy up. He just ran right into my lap. And this guy does the infinite juke around the pallet. And yep, he gets a good juke right there because I thought he was going to drop it, but he didn't. So remember, in this situation, you just want to chase one direction. So it forces him to drop the pallet. And then when you get blinded, if they take away your eyes, just use your ears and follow them, and most importantly, do not swing. And you just like listen for their footsteps when you're blind. And try and move towards their footsteps, and you'll end up, like I ended up right next to him, and I didn't swing, but definitely could have as the blind wore off. But I wanted to make sure I got the hit. And he pulls another sneaky move. Barely missed that swing. He tries to do it again there, but it's way too narrow. But he knew he had no choice because I was going to catch up in that hallway, so... This guy is definitely an experienced individual. And we're going to give him some experience of being on the hook. Not the best experience, but experience nonetheless. And I do something that... Like, I just wanted to try this out, but I mean, I know there's going to be someone that says this is camping, which it is. But I want to use this mirror. And plus, I actually can't get to him really fast, but actually I was deciding to leave here because he attempted to escape like 3 or 4 times, and I was going to leave, but I got stalker points, and I was like, well, the survivors are here, so I might as well just stick around. Kind of a scummy move, but, well, I am trying to kill him. Quick hit, and then I'm able to get him down through the window again. It's like 3 good window hits. But to make up for it, I guess I chase this guy and get a hit on him, but I let him go. So maybe to give the rest of these guys a chance instead of ending the game right away. Plus, if I chased him, these guys might have bled out if that chase went on for too long, so I decided to go for this guy because he's not my obsession, and I know he's an insta-kill, so I can remove another player from the game. And then I can try and get my obsession somewhere. I mean, I can't afford to just leave him on the ground and try and get the other guy down to prevent hatch escape because he's about to bleed out, so I'd rather get him on a hook. And of course, not having Iron Grasp 3, there's not really very many hooks to work with here. So we're going to turn around last second, and he gets off. And we're going to continue chasing a little bit here. It'd be ideal to build 3 play with your food stacks, and then go after the other guy. And it just continues to run. Waiting for those stacks to build. Lost track of him for a second there. But pretty open out here, so not that hard to find him again. This pallet's pretty good. It's not the shortest run around, but I just decided to break it. I see him go to the right there. I don't know why I went left. Make sure you got the escape, I guess. And baiting that pallet there. That's a quick run around. Definitely could have downed him there. But I do want another stack. As you see, I'm going to bait here. And I'm just going to stand here until he gets the escape. And then we'll try and get him down for real. There we go. Definitely could have ran around that. But then we hear the generator over here. So we say, alright, let's just go for this guy. And pretty sure he had sprint burst there, otherwise pretty sure I would have landed that hit. So I waste a token by missing a swing there, because you lose the token at the very beginning of the swing. It's not on a hit. But he ends up making a wrong turn there, so spend all my tokens, but end up getting him down. And fortunately for me, he's in my house, so we're gonna go down to my basement, put him down there, and then just one guy left to find. Having this guy hooked in the basement is gonna make it pretty easy, and he gives away his position by finishing that generator. I think the right play here is to just chill and wait for the hatch. Yeah, he's running out in the open like he could make some huge play or something, but at this point I'm just farming my deviousness by getting stalker points. Of course he's dodging me a little bit here, but like I could have got that hit there. But I am being a bit of a scumbag just trying to get points, because Michael Myers is pretty good at that. But I got a good chunk there, so I'm going to chase him down and just end it here. Is that down him? And we're going to put him in the basement as well. So, Michael Myers, again, don't get too greedy with EW3. You mostly want to stay in EW2. Of course, in this game I was forced to stay in EW2 because of the vanity mirror, but that gives you the bonus of the wall hacks. But 16 meter wall hacks honestly is way more valuable than being able to pop no-ed. Maybe not. It just kind of, if you pop your EW3, you'll get an instant down. But if the survivor team is really good, that's all you're gonna get. So having wall hacks the entire game, I would value that more, honestly. And we got a double pip there. Of course, so many points going out of this guy. Not really sure how they could nerf the point generation, because I mean, yeah, I got 8k in deviousness, but I also got a lot in the other categories. I think it's mostly due to, did I just say doo-doo? Save the best for last, and unrelenting. It just, I don't know, these perks are just so strong. Actually feel pretty damn deadly. Of course, the Decisive Strike is good too, but I don't know. Alright, but that about wraps up this video. Sorry it's been such a long time since I made a video like this. And I'll try to get another Survive with Friends video out soon. Maybe a couple. Who knows? Finally got a decent weekend to finally play around with stuff here. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the DLC. I know some people aren't, but hopefully you can find a way to enjoy it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.